Today I'm going to be doing predictions for the first major 2017 Csgo in Atlanta, and I'm going to be running down all the first group stage matches, and then I'm going to pick who's going to go 3-0 in the groups, who's going to go 0-3 in the groups, and basically the 8 teams that are going to make it out of the groups. So for the first match of the tournament, it's between Gambit and North. North being the ex-Dignitas roster. I do think North is going to edge this one out, but I made odds for all the games, for the first 8 games. Gambit was supposed to be a really strong underdog. Their new additions, Hobbit, who's a fragger, dude. Then they have Zeus, who's a great IGL. He's an ex-Navi member who was replaced by Simple. And I believe North is going to edge this one out 40-60. But that's just my gut feeling. This one is probably a 50-50 match. But I think North has just stronger firepower. It's a 50-50 match, honestly, either way you take it. So is this next match, which I do have going 50-50, is Fnatic and G2. G2 has had their solid roster of 5 for a pretty long time now, but they are about to mix teams with Envious. G2 is going to take this roster. It's going to be with the Kenny S, Shocks, which is the first time those two will be on a team ever, but that's sidetracking. I do think Fnatic's going to take this game. With their new additions, they've been in there for a while. I've watched some of their recent scrims. They're looking pretty solid. I'm not saying G2 isn't, but I think Fnatic's going to be really underrated in this tournament because of their recent roster changes and bringing in Disco Doppelin and the other player. I forgot his name. Okay, the next match is a given. SK Hellraisers. SK is going to take this one, even with Fox standing in. I'm going to take Hellraisers going 0-3 right now. But I'm reading off a Google Drive slide right now. So I'm going to do the pick'em in a minute. I'll put a time marker down below. Next match. This one I have the odds at 65-35. Virtus Pro versus Optic Gaming. Because Optic, I think, is there's a lot of really strong underdogs in this tournament. Gambit, Optic. I'm not sure. FaZe maybe count. FaZe is probably an underdog. But I have VP taking this one because they're just known to do really well at big tournaments. They're known as the North American, just crusher, basically. I don't know how else to put it. And Optic's gonna have a hard time getting out of the groups at this major. Then I'm taking VP for that one. So I'll run down my list of the first 4 games. I have North, Fnatic, SK, and VP all taking the first matches. Then between Navi and Mousesports, I'm taking Navi. My odds were 80-20. Navi just acquired Simple. Now Guardian doesn't need to be the carry of the team anymore. They have this core 3, Simple, Guardian, and Flamey, who could all go off at any moment and just carry a game by themselves. C's just a new IGL. I mean, you don't really need you don't really need insane tactics when you have fraggers like Simple, Flamey, and Guardian, who could just carry your team through games. I actually have them going 3-0 in this group. And I just don't see Mousesports getting anywhere. They have Nico. He's a really solid player, but he's alone, basically. There's no one else that could really support him. If Chris J has a good game, it's still not going to be enough, I don't think. Liquid versus Envious. It's my next match. I have the odds 25-75 going to Envious. Again, I watched some recent scrims of Liquid. I mean, it wasn't looking too hot for them. They got, I think, 16-3'd by a Tier 2 North American team. So, it wasn't looking too hot for them. Envious, of course. Everyone knows their lineup. Kenny S, Apex, MBK, Happy, those guys. There also, of course, I talked about it earlier, the G2 Envious mix-up. Liquid could beat Envious, but I'm not taking that bet. I don't think they will. That's why I have my odds so stacked. I don't like stacking the odds 90 to 10, but the only reason I did that for the SK Hellraisers match was because there's no way. The firepower on SK, even without FNX, it's just too strong. So I have Envious taking that match. For Astralis versus Godsent, I have the odds 75 to 25 in Astralis' favor. They've just been on one lately. They've been insane fragging lately. Oof. Godsent's just been on a downhill slope. It's been a rough ride for them ever since they picked up that new Godsent roster. Oof. So I have the odds 75 to 25 for Astralis for that one. Then Flipside versus FaZe. I think I have the odds in FaZe's favor a little too much, 70-30. But the firepower on FaZe is where it's at, and with their new in-game leader Kerrigan there, they're probably going to beat out Flipside just off of pure firepower and now having an in-game leader. So now I'm going to go to the Pick'em Challenge page. I was tabbed out the whole time, sorry. Perfect. Okay, so here I am probably for the 0-3. This one's really tough. I really want to take SK, but I don't know, I'm hopping on that Navi bandwagon right now. I think I'm going to take Navi. And for 0-3, or I should probably explain this. I'm taking Navi because Simple's been in this lineup for long enough to where I'm sure they have had time to develop something. I think this is going to be a big reveal. I don't know. I just have high hopes. Then for 0-3, I think it's pretty obvious. It's either going to be Hellraisers. I don't think Optics are going to go out. Maybe Liquid. But I'm going to take Hellraisers because they're playing SK first match. Okay. So for the 7 remaining teams, I'm going to have, of course, SK making it through. SK is just a solid. I think they'll make it out of the groups into Legends again, even with Fox standing in. Fox isn't a terrible player. He's not really as good as FNX. I really would want to know why they couldn't just stick with FNX throughout this tournament. I mean, they're bringing in Phelps, who's pretty solid, but I mean, if things were that bad between FNX and the rest of SK, it's really depressing. Alright, so next I'm going to take Virtus Pro. He's playing Optic. Optic could upset, but then I just don't see how Virtus Pro can't get out of the groups at this major. Next, I'm going to be taking Astralis. I think I should have taken... I'm not sure if the order matters, but I doubt it. Astralis should make it out. Their recent form has been pretty insane. Next, I'm going to be taking... Who was I taking? Envious. Sorry, I'm really sick right now, guys. But I just want to get this video out before group stages lock. Then I'm going to tab out real quick and see who else is on my list. Fnatic, G2. Okay. Let's get Fnatic in there. I think Fnatic's going to be really underrated. I think Fnatic is going to be a really solid team in the future. Of course, I have to take North. Then for my last team, this is a tough one, dude. It's between G2, Optic, FaZe, and Gambit. I don't think Flipside or Godsent's making it out. But damn, this is a tough one. I think I'm going to take the Firepower and Shoxy in G2 and go with them. Man, that's a rough one. Alright, there we go. So these are my picks for the group stage at the first major 2017, the E-League at Atlanta, for E-League at Atlanta. And yeah, thank you for watching.